PC Voyage. I'm Rainey Laviolette.
And I'm Diana McLean.
Tonight we're going to be talking about online services. Have you ever used an online service?
I never had a chance, but I would love to. I heard wonderful things about them.
Well, there's a lot of different ones out there. There's, at least a half a dozen of them on the market. You've got CompuServe, Delphi, Genie, America Online. You've also got the internet and local bulletin boards as well.
Well, don't forget Prodigy.
Well, that kind of leads us into what we're talking about tonight, because tonight...
You guys are so clever.
I know, aren't we? We're so good at this. Well, tonight we have Keith Davis, who is the producer of PC Voyage and a Prodigy user.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Keith?
Pretty good. Yourself?
Good.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. We're going to take a look at Prodigy tonight, but only from the context of looking at an online service that a lot of people are subscribing to these days. There's a lot of services out there, like you said. And let's briefly talk about the features that you would expect to find on online services. Now, you use CompuServe.
I use CompuServe, yeah.
The basic services that I seem to see that are common to these services are news, weather, sports, bulletin boards, all kinds of bulletin boards practically. Any topic you can think of, you can sign on and leave questions, get answers, and discuss things with other people. CompuServe has like interactive bulletin boards.
Yeah.
Where you can sign on live with other people.
Right, you can conference with other users,
yeah.
Sure.
And email is a big part of these services too, electronic mail. And if all these services could get together somehow, and some of them are starting to get together, you could send email to anybody in the country who is subscribing to one of these services. And literally not have to write quite as many letters and send them out in the mail as you used to do. So there's also games, encyclopedias, and of course then there's other specialized services that you can do over these Prodigy or CompuServe that involve paying your bills, making airline reservations, buying and selling stocks and all that. So there's quite a few ancillary services that go along with
How about the
these two.
cost? Is it very high to pay into something like this?
Each one has different schemes. They have different rates. I'm not sure what the CompuServe options are right now. Prodigy has three major options. One is a $7 or $8 a month fee that will let the user who does not use the service very often get on, use it for a couple hours a month without paying any additional fees, and get off the service. Maybe they just want to log on, read the news, weather, and sports. They have another option that will, you can pay, it's around $14 a month, and the services you get with that are a couple of hours of core time, they call it, which are hundreds of basic services, and then some extra plus features and others.
Well, why don't we get into Prodigy right here, and you're going to log in right now, and while he's doing that, Chip's going to give us the trivia question. Oh, we're back already. Well, what happened to Chip? I mean...
Well, he got another job. Didn't you know that?
No, nobody told me anything. I must have come in late or something. I mean...
Oh, yeah, you're
I think
missing
he's going to
everything.
try to work for you.
Me?
Yeah.
I think he's better off working for Studio C.
That would be a nice job.
I heard that Laura's looking for a new co-host, and maybe he'd fit right in there. Yeah.
All right. He can do a good job on
Okay.
that. He knows music very well.
See? Yeah, he's probably
He's a
off
Sound
key.
Blaster Pro, I guess, if you want to call him.
What are you going to show us?
Well, let's go over to the computer here. We've signed on to Prodigy, and we'll take a look at some of the features. And one of the things that's very important about these services is if you subscribe to them, they have a lot of features on it, and a lot of people get these and they pay a $7 to $15 a month charge and don't use too many of the features. But CompuServe, Prodigy have hundreds of features that you can go into. And the thing to do is make use of them. This is the opening screen right here. And you can go directly into several features, but the first option is news. And if you have any mail waiting in your mailbox, by the way, it will tell you up on the screen if you have any new mail in there. And it comes up to a screen, and again, you can go to sports, arts, headlines, business, health, or whatever, or as we're doing here, we're going directly into a news topic. And they have 9 or 10 news topics. They update constantly. And also, there's related topics that go along with a lot of these news things. So that's one of the things. Information is a big part of these services, news, weather, sports. We were watching the Atlanta Phillies game last night, and they were about 5 minutes behind it with the scores, and they had an inning-by-inning description of what was happening, and they were only about 5 minutes behind the game. So they're very current with a lot of this stuff.
That's a good trivia question now for everybody to figure out what night we're actually taping this.
That's right. Yes, Atlanta lost in 10 innings, I believe, so by 1 run. So now another big feature besides information is email. And email, electronic mail, where you can send letters out to other subscribers to the service.
What if you don't know anyone that uses Prodigy?
Well, there is a way to find them, and we can take a look at that to see if you can locate an old friend or relative or something. But when you go into your mailbox, if there's mail in there, it'll tell you you've got letters waiting in there, and you can read the messages. And they can be 1 to 6 pages long, a page being one screen full of data here. And there's other things you can do with mailboxes, and you would expect this out of a good service that, that has email. This lets you set up an address book, which means that you can put somebody's name in. I can put Rainey or Diana and put the service ID for that person in, and instead of having to remember a 7-digit service ID, I can just type your name when I want to send you a letter, and it will go find your service ID, and it'll go out to you. You can create mailing lists. Mailing lists, if you want to send the same message out to several people, you can create all different kinds of lists made up of people from the address book. And another thing you can do is search for other members on the service.
Oh, great.
And
The only problem is that it won't work really well if you're like Glenn and has no friends.
oh, he's got a couple. Otherwise, we wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, but they won't admit it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. What I'm doing right now is I've put my own name in here and paging down through the different states. You can have it search every state in the country if you want. And once you get into a state, you can also have it search every city, but I'm just going to put Holyoke in here and let it search for anybody with my name in the city of Holyoke. And there may be more than one, sometimes there is. You can put a last name in there, and this will eventually narrow the search down to the criteria you put in, the person's name, the city, the state, and we'll bring up that person's service ID, which again is like their address. And it doesn't tell you much more than the city, state, and the service ID. They don't get into any other, anything more personal like street addresses or phone numbers.
Can you get an unlisted ID?
And yes, you have to choose to put your name on this list. It's not on there to begin with, as if it's unlisted, and you can remove it at any time you want. And also, if you are searching for somebody, you can go in, if you do find them, you can write a letter directly from this point to them, if you so desire. So, now there's that's email, and of course, one of the nice things that they will have someday is the ability to gateway out from one service to the other. So if I want to send Rainey a message on Prodigy, hopefully they will have the option where I can put your service ID in Prodigy, and that they will go out, and the whole country then can actually be connected electronically regardless of the service they have.
Yeah, a lot of them seem to be using it through through the internet. Because I know I can communicate through CompuServe with people on the internet.
Right.
And I think through there you can communicate to other people and other services that way. Right.
And eventually that'll happen. And with most people having computers in their homes in a couple of years probably, and if everybody subscribed to a service like this, you literally could use that for all of your mail.
Mm-hmm.
And so now let's go to other features here. We have we've looked at news And of course, that had sports and information, people information, entertainment news, and that sort of thing. They also have a weather map you can bring up, and you can get tomorrow's weather, and they have also the scientific forecast showing jet streams and cold and warm fronts. And you can also get your local weather too. You can go in and tell it what city you're in, and it will give you your local forecast. On this service, there's a lot of features, and you can find almost all this information in other places. And the point is, for them, is to have it all in one place.
One thing I noticed right away, and anybody who's watching this will, is that through Prodigy, you actually are getting graphics up on the screen.
Right. That's the format they use. In fact, the graphics formats are going to be very common in the future, because computers are going to be fast enough to handle them, and modem speeds will be high enough to handle them. This is rather slow if you have an 8088 machine at 1200 bits per second, or even at 2400. But if you have a 386 or higher and you're at 2400 bit, and it's not too bad, and now they have 9600 bit service in most cities, and it goes very quickly then. And it's a lot of data coming over when you do that. So, other features. Let's go to one more feature real quick here, and that's the encyclopedia. And there's an online encyclopedia.
How does the online encyclopedia compare to ones that you can purchase either hard copy or through CD-ROMs?
The difference right now with Prodigy's, it's the Academic American Encyclopedia, and it's very comprehensive. It's a complete encyclopedia. What it doesn't have right now are graphics. If you want to look into computers or something like that, it'll bring up all kinds of articles about any topic you punch in there. Someday they may have pictures, they may have sound and other things that go along with it that you might get with a CD-ROM disc.
So it doesn't know what PC Voyage is at this point?
It will pretty soon. Maybe Chip went to work for them or something.
So that'd be good.
Yes.
And of course you can print these articles out too. So if you need them, great for kids, for schools and that sort of thing.
And you can take the text from here and pop it right into a word processor? Or?
Right.
Well, right now, we got to pause so we can find out the answer to the trivia question.
And Chip's not going to give them to us, right?
No, no, it's
but
not.
I
Too
missed something. I
bad.
missed it.
It's
I'm sorry. I
okay.
missed it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we're back. We've given you the trivia questions, the trivia answers, and you know what? I don't miss Chip.
You don't miss Chip.
I don't miss Chip.
After
you know,
all that belly aching, you don't miss Chip.
I don't miss Chip. And you know what's funny is I had come in here tonight prepared to tell Keith of what we think we should do with Chip, because we got him sitting right here, and he's got as far
And
as
here
Chip
he
is
turned in
concerned.
his resignation.
I know. I think that's really cool, you know?
Yeah.
It's about time you did something right around here.
Well, I didn't die. I tell you, he quit.
Uh-huh. That's all right. You know, we all pushed him out the door. You know.
Now let's get back to Prodigy here and some more features on the service. What we're going to take a look at right now are what they call the premium services. Premium meaning not so much that they cost extra. Some of them do and some of them don't, but they're more specialized services. We're going to take a look at a service where you can pay your bills, and a service where you can purchase, buy and sell stock, and another feature where you can make airplane reservations, buy airplane tickets, and make hotel and car reservations too.
Let's get into it.
So,
Do you pay your bills through this?
yes, I do.
Can we see what bills you have to pay?
Well, they're going to come up on the screen here, whether I like it or not. So, we will tell the features of it here. It's called Bill Pay USA is the name of the feature, and this is not a feature that's run by Prodigy. It's an offshoot, and they gateway out to Bill Pay USA, as they do with a lot of different features here.
And what's your password for getting in?
So, and my password is star, 6 stars will get you in there. Yes, that's for sure. Bill Pay USA is a really neat feature, I think, because what it allows you to do is set up in here a list of people that you pay your bills to each month, and even people you pay bills to maybe quarterly or once a year. And you can do several things here. You can have them, you can make single payments, you can see right on the screen here, meaning if you get a monthly bill in, say your U.S. Sprint bill, and it's $40.28, you can go in and tell it on a certain day, pay $40.28 to U.S. Sprint. And it is paid electronically. They do an electronic transfer of funds from your checking account to your payee, who you're paying the bill to.
Is it pretty foolproof?
And so far it is. I think if they had any problems with it, people would drop it like a hot potato. So it works fairly well, and seems fairly secure, too. A lot of people do have questions on security. If the payee that you're sending the bill to cannot accept an electronic transfer of funds, they actually print a computerized check and a statement. It's all done by a computer. It's folded and mailed out to them, and a few days later in the mail they receive it. So this service is $110 annually on an annual basis, and for that you can send up to 30 payments out per month under that. And if you, well, a lot of people don't have 30 payments to send out. They may only have 10 or 12 or something. But you can also even assist other people in paying bills to boost the payee list up, because it doesn't cost you any more to pay 20 people or 30 people a month. Another thing you can do that's really nice is recurring payments. Recurring payments, if you have the same payment each month, you just set it up and you have it on a certain day each month to pay that payment to the payee. And you don't have to even sign on to the service. It's just done automatically. And common things that are like that are your cable bill, your mortgage payment is usually the same every month. And the other thing you can do with some of your other bills, like your gas or electric bills, you can go on an averaging basis. And for 11 months out of the year, you can pay the same amount and set that payment up in here too. And you can also do quarterly and annual payments as recurring payments. And of course you can see, add to the list of payees, you can delete them, you can cancel pending payments if you set a payment up and you decide you don't want to pay it or you have to change it, you can go in and make changes to it. You can go back and look at the history, meaning you can take a look at a payee and you can see what you did for the last so many payments. We'll take a look here at our cable bill, and they will show you the last 6 payments, if you've had that many, what date they were made and the amount they were made for.
Oh, I see your bill went up because of re-regulation.
Yes, it did. And there it is.
Now, when you're paying a bill through this, it's still the same fee as if you were writing the check yourself through your bank.
No.
There's no bank fee?
There's no check, there's no stamp involved.
No, but is there a bank fee?
No, there's no bank fee. What it does, another thing that's nice is it shows up on your monthly bank statement, and it tells who you made the payment to, because it's like an ATM line on the bill where it'll show where you made an ATM withdrawal, for instance. Well, this will show up and tell exactly who you made the payment to versus just a check number. So you don't write checks and you don't mail anything. That's the whole point of this thing. And you don't pay fees to your bank, right? You do pay a fee to this service for doing this.
Okay.
So, and you can also look at the last payment you made to each payee. There's mail. You can send mail internally to these people if you have questions or comments. And if you feel a payment was not made correctly, they have an inquiry feature here that you can say, okay, authorize the payment. It was supposed to be done on this day. And they have a guarantee too on here. If they don't put a payment through when it was supposed to, and you incur a late fee or some interest, they will pay that charge if it's something of their fault. You know, if you made the payment too late or something, it's not their fault. But if you did everything on time and it didn't work out, then they will pay the fees for it.
You just got to be careful. Instead of paying a $21 bill, you don't pay a $214 bill.
Right. And you can download all this information. Again, you can download it, and you can download it as an ASCII file or as a spreadsheet file too. So if you want to take your payee lists and dates and dollar amounts, you can import them directly into a spreadsheet.
What other services are there available?
Okay, the other stuff they got on here, we'll take a look. There is a service that lets you buy stock. Let's take a quick look at that. You can buy and sell stock, and of course, if you're interested in doing that, this is an electronic discount stock brokerage. That's what it boils down to. And you can purchase any stocks, bonds, municipal funds, or whatever through this.
Is there a fee for this as well?
There's no fee for using this. You have to set an account up, and of course you have to pay a commission, but they're very low, about $45 for a $3,000 transaction. Normally it would be $60 or $90 through other brokerages. Even discount brokerages would be more. So, and you can purchase stock. You can see current pricing for stocks. It gives you real-time data on that as you're purchasing things. So that's another nice feature of it too.
What other services are there?
Do we have time here? How's our time?
Yeah, I think we got a couple minutes.
Okay. We can, another one that I like and a lot of people use is the ability to buy airline tickets. And there's another service that a gateway's out to called Easy Saber, which is run by American Airlines. And you can make reservations. You can make reservations for airlines and also hotels and cars on this. And it really works good. I've bought several tickets through this. You make the reservation, and they overnight the tickets to you, FedEx overnight for free, which is really nice.
And all you pay is the airline fee for it.
And you pay just like you went to an airline reservation, if you made reservations directly with them, or you went to a travel agent. In fact, many travel agents use this service here. And you can go in and look at all the flights. You put in where you're going from, let's say BDL, and of course there's airport codes, Atlanta, and if you're leaving on a certain date, we'll go through this real quick, and it will go in and show you all the flights, not just American Airlines, but all the flights that are available for that destination. And then you can go in and view the flights, see what times they are, and so on.
Boy,
So,
who says there's not price fixing? They're all the same.
that's right. Oh, yeah, and they all change, too. And when they have discounts, they show up on here, too.
Now, what happens if, like, say, you're leaving on the 22nd, and there's a discount between the day you buy your ticket, and is there any guarantee?
I think you have to deal with the airline for that, with that. I believe that's the case, that you can get a lower price. I don't think you do it through this service, though. So.
All right. Well, gee, Keith, that was a really good presentation of Prodigy. For anybody who wants to know, where can they get the software?
Prodigy you can get just about anywhere. You can call Prodigy for it. I think they have a number, 1-800-PRODIGY, if you just want to buy it. But it's available at computer fairs. It comes with a lot of computers. So a lot of computers come set up with software, and Prodigy is a very common software package that's with them.
See, now if you want to do this, all you need to do is just give them your credit card, and they'll bill you every month for Prodigy.
That's great.
And you
I
can talk,
want to.
and you can talk to the rest of us.
Terrific.
Well, now, for those of you who are interested in sending us letters, here we are going to, I guess, Chip again. I keep wanting to say Chip.
No more Chip?
Here's the PC Voyage address where you can send us your letters, comments, suggestions, general likes, dislikes, suggestions, comments.
And so forth.
Whatever.
And so forth. Put an end to it there. We'll be right back, right?
After this message. Great importance. Well, we're back. Is there any other features of Prodigy that Keith might have missed?
How about the games?
Oh, they've
fun
got
part.
everything on here. They've got games. There's also bulletin boards, which we didn't get a chance to talk about, but there's bulletin boards, as there are on a lot of the services, that have just hundreds of topics and features where you can go in and leave messages and get responses. All kinds of games on this, interactive games and contests. They have everything on here too, so a lot of different features, hundreds of features, and if you get the free trial period for any of these services, explore them during the month or 2 months you get a free trial on them. Go in and try as many of the features as you can, and you'll know if you like the service.
Well, that's great advice.
Now, what kind of bulletin boards do they have on here? Who exactly can you communicate with?
Well, other members, but they do have celebrities in certain topics that sign on and respond to timely subjects,
Now, with
political things and
You mean like
sports things.
Rush Limbaugh's on here?
I don't know if he's on Prodigy. He's on CompuServe, but they do have situations like that where.
Because I know on CompuServe you can sign into different forums like Microsoft and WordPerfect and Lotus, and they all have forums on here. Do the same kind of things exist here?
CompuServe is a little more intensive on specific subjects on bulletin boards. So.
Okay. Well, the other important question I have, and this will be it before we break up here, but how do you get rid of those annoying ads on the bottom of the screen?
Put a piece of paper over them, that's all.
Well, I guess that's what we're going to have to do. On that note, I don't have anything else to add.
Well, that ends another exciting episode of PC Voyage.
Episode.
Yes. I'm Diana McLean.
And I'm Rainey Laviolette.
And thank you to our producer, Keith
My
Davis.
pleasure.
It'll go to his head, though.
No.
And we'll see everybody else next week.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't want this stuff to go to
Oh,
his
yeah.
head. It goes-
Hey, there's a car for you right there.
Selling your car.
Selling your car, right.
8:30 left in the second period. Oh, that's pretty good.
Which game are we looking for?